And so we ended up at the Brinkley booth, and there was a floor plan that we walked into, and I immediately felt like I was at home.
Hey guys, and welcome to the RV Trash Talk podcast, where we dish on all things RV, full-time traveling, and RV maintenance. I'm Danny, one of the co-hosts of this crazy experiment. My wife Melissa and I, along with our great friends Rob and Trish and Jim and Amy, thought up this crazy idea sitting around a campfire drinking whiskey in Athens, Texas.
Hey guys, welcome to RV Trash Talk. I am Rob and Trish with Living Like Nomads. We're here with Jim and Amy, the Vagabonds, and with Danny and Melissa from Four Simple Lives. How's everybody doing tonight? Excellent. All right. Woo! All right, before we get started, we have our normal seat. What do we have everybody drinking tonight? Danny and Melissa, let's start with you guys.
I got St. Augustine bourbon.
Nice.
I have LaCroix.
Yeah.
Are you on, is this dry February?
No, we failed at dry January.
No, I failed at dry January, but we went and had lunch this afternoon, and so I had workout Michelob Ultra beers, so I'm just having LaCroix now.
Just continuing with the water, right? That's all?
Yeah, just continuing with my water intake, yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated.
There you go.
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. Stay frosty. Amy, what do you got?
I've got Menage a Trois Midnight.
Very nice.
We may have to beep out some of this episode later, but it's all good.
And I have a neat pour of Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace. The same. Buffalo Trace with a chaser of Arizona hard, real brewed iced tea with lemon. Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
And hanging in Trish. Trish is all fancy schmancy tonight.
Yeah, I've got 1921 cream tequila over ice.
Nice.
Very
Bougie.
good.
All right. Bougie,
Cheers.
bougie. Cheers, everybody. And it's pretty cool because we are actually on location with Jim and Amy tonight. They are with us live, which is really cool. So, you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
She's got a hole in her lip.
I'm sitting.
All right, so where's everybody at? Let's start with that. Let's start with Jim and Amy. Where's Jim and Amy tonight? Let's start with that. We'll mix it up a little bit.
Well, we're actually in your home.
That's right.
In Apache Junction, Arizona.
Yes, and it's beautiful. It hit 90 today.
It did.
Today's the first day
nice.
in Arizona that we hit 90, and it's just been absolutely fantastic. And obviously, Rob and Trish, we are in Apache Junction as well. So, Danny and Melissa, where are you guys at?
We are in North Myrtle Beach. Yes.
A little bit of
And
South
it's-
Carolina action.
South Carolina.
Yes.
Nice.
Finally warm here. Our
Yeah.
first two nights with
Freezing.
26 degrees at 6 a.m. And now it's
Freezing.
almost 70 today.
Yeah.
So
It
we're
was
good.
a little
26?
frosty. A little frosty.
Yeah.
You'll have to go
Yeah.
back there when it's warmer so the kids can go swimming.
Oh,
We're
Jake
coming.
still wanted to go swimming the other day. I was
Yeah,
Or
like,
at least
pool's
in the
closed.
ocean, I'm saying. I know there's
Yeah.
heated
Oh, man.
pools, but
And here's just a funny little story. Our UPS store got audited this week, and our box got pulled as one of the ones to be audited. So the USPS wants to know what our physical address is. We don't have a physical address.
oh,
So,
no.
Yeah, so we had to scramble a little bit, and one of the things they would accept is our auto insurance. So we went online, changed our auto insurance to our daughter's address, who happens to live here in Mesa, and then
Okay.
reprinted out our auto policy, and then brought it down there, and they were okay with that. But it's like out of the 350 boxes they have, like 5 boxes got audited, and ours was one of them. So yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So
Isn't that
was
the
absolutely-
point? Isn't that the
Yeah.
point of the boxes? That's like your address. It's like a P.O. box,
100%, yeah. Yep. And the funny thing is that all of our stuff, like everything we have, is that mailbox address. So initially they wanted to know, give us some of your address on it. So I handed them something. They're like, that's our address. I'm like, yeah, that's our address. And they're like, yeah, we can't accept that. I'm like,
well, the Postal Service won't
Yeah.
accept it. The
So-
Postal Service won't accept it.
but anyway, so yeah, so we had a little little panic moment there for a little while because otherwise they were going to basically revoke our UPS box.
And then
Oh,
we've been
geez.
doing a podcast with them in jail.
Yeah, that'd be hard. They probably wouldn't let us do that. They would
Live
not
on
let us drink it
location from
But,
Rikers.
but just to make this all legit here, when we are in town, we do stay with our daughter some. And also we store some stuff at her place. So when we call the insurance, because we do have full-timers insurance, they were good with that.
Yeah.
So-
So if Doge is listening, everything's kosher
Yeah.
here. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
That is awesome.
So what else
That's
do we?
random.
Yep. So, all right. So this episode, we're going to talk about just general RV maintenance and just some preventative things that we can do to not have to call us. All three of us happen to be RV techs, and I mean, this is how these two guys are retired, so it's absolutely awesome. Unfortunately, I still have to work, but this is how everybody pays me. So
So we're doing this because you need a day off. You're getting
yeah,
many calls.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes,
gotcha.
I have been absolutely slammed this last month. It has been great. But I figured today this is a perfect time to talk about just general RV maintenance and what everybody can do to not have to call the RV tech. If you just do some basic maintenance stuff, you can prevent a lot of the stuff that really goes on. So, who wants to start?
I will.
There you go.
So one of the basic maintenance items you can do is lubrication. You have suspension.
Yeah, you can.
Come on now. guys. Come on. Now. You have your suspension bolts on many rigs require greasing. Your wheel bearings require greasing. I was just watching a YouTube video the other day, and a 6, 7, 8 month old RV fifth wheel, they lost a tire and they didn't even know it.
I think we saw that
And
one,
come to
yes.
find out, there was no grease or lack of grease in that wheel bearing. So, get your wheel bearings greased up and repacked. They recommend every 12 months or every 12,000 miles. The majority of your mobile RV techs will do that. A lot of your axle shops, some of your tire shops will also do that for a nominal fee. So that's some of the greasings I'm talking about. There's also, like in your toilet, your toilet
Toilet
seal
seals?
will dry out. So
For
get
sure.
yourself some food grade lithium grease and take care of that seal as well.
Yep. Yeah, and just to add to that, look around your RV. Anything that has a grease zert, if you don't know what that is, look it up do a quick Google search. Anything that has a little grease fitting, put grease in it. I mean, it's there for a reason. Just make sure that your well-lubed stuff works way better.
Yep.
In all sorts of
In all
things.
sorts of things.
Yeah, so that would be my biggest one is, especially now that we're getting into the springtime. You're going to want to get out there and go camping and stuff. So do a good thorough walkthrough and get your stuff greased up. Including your ball hitch if you have a tow behind, your fifth wheel pin. Make sure the kink pin portion. Make sure that's greased up.
Yep.
So there's plenty of stuff out there that will give you a curveball in your long weekend or your vacation.
For sure. And the pin or even the hitch, I don't know if everybody knows, but your hitch, almost everyone has a zerk on it. Just you need to grease it. I had no idea until I took it apart and I saw it right there. I was like, oh crap, I should probably grease this thing.
Danny knows.
So put a grease gun on there, put some grease in there, and
we had
you'll be good to
training,
go.
huh, Danny?
Yeah, we're new to fifth wheel, and in our hitch in the back of our truck, our B&W, Jim showed me. He was like, "Hey, when's the last time you greased your hitch?" And I was like, "The 4th of never." And he was like, "Yeah." So he showed me. We pulled it off and we greased it everywhere. And then there's certain spots you can grease, frequently, and then the zerks maybe not as frequently. So Jim pointed out to me where to grease that down the road. So I had no idea, but you don't know what you don't know. So this is perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Danny, go ahead, man. On you.
All right, so on Jim's theme, because it is the spring here, 2 things. Number 1, which is easy, it seems scary, but your air conditioners. You should service your air conditioners probably before you start for the season and after you start for the season. Of course, you can find a RV technician that would love to do that for you, but it's really simple. A couple of bolts, you take the shroud off, and you just clean your coils. It's very simple. But while we're
100%.
talking about having us 26-degree weather here, some preventative maintenance you can do. So we pulled in from Florida being 70, 80 every day. Once we got into Georgia and South Carolina, it was 26, 2 mornings in a row. So what we did is we filled our freshwater tanks at night and disconnected the hose because we don't have a heated hose. Then we turned our tank heaters on in our RV, so that kept everything, just above freezing. And then we ran our furnace, of course, so the furnace is heating the underbelly. And then we put a little space heater in our wet bay just to keep a little extra heat on all the water, the fittings, the connections like that. So one thing you should do before the season, and then also if you run it, you could run into, even now, this is the time where you're going to be in a warm place and then you're going to run into cold weather for a night or two. And there's a couple of simple things you can do.
Oh, for sure. Yep. And actually, just to add to that, one other thing too is you can buy water sensors that you can put down in your bay, just in case they happen to freeze overnight and then all of a sudden things bust and they thaw out. You get water down there, you're not going to know unless you have some way to alert you. So you can totally buy wireless sensors that just go down there and they'll beep as soon as there's water in there. They'll sense it and beep. So.
And then you can relive you guys are probably too old for this, but we had sensors in our kids' cribs that would sense their motion, and when they stopped for a second, the room would go, and we all jump out of bed.
We must be too old.
Too old for that.
Thanks a lot, guys.
I had a heart attack when that happened.
We're pampered parents.
Heart attack.
All right, so my simple tip is look at your roof. Like before you leave, and I mean this is something I would do, and I do it now. Every time before we leave, I get up on the ladder and I blow off my slides before I pull the slides in, because there's always crap in there. I mean, we're usually someplace for a couple weeks. There's always just stuff there. Blow off the slides, but look at the roof. I've had 2 jobs now where, actually the last one especially, the guy had a rip in his roof. He caught a branch at some point. He doesn't know when. I would say it was probably a year ago, because there was a rip about probably 8-9 inches in his roof, and then the corner of his RV was just spongy. Like you can just push down on it. So
God.
that means there's water damage, right? Just look, just take a quick look. If there's a rip, patch it really quick. It's very simple to do, but it's so funny because so many people just don't.
Well, they take it for granted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, my roof's fine.
They don't know.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean, if you don't know, call somebody that does know. At least to have them come out and do an inspection for you. Yeah. And give you a quote of what it would be to replace some of that caulking up there and stuff.
Yeah. Yep. And the thing is, it's just most of the stuff is very easy to do. You can do it yourself. Just get a little bit of a Turnabond tape, put it on the rip, and you're fine. But most people just, like Jim said, take it for granted. And they just like, everything's fine. I can't see it from my house, so it's okay. Then they, 3-4 months, 5 months later, all of a sudden, hey, what's this water thing? What's this big spot on my roof for? Yeah, well,
you guys got a lot of experience in the RV space, so let me ask you a question, because we've been having a problem. Behind on our slide out, on our kitchen slide, we got the Brinkley 4-seat recliner, and Melissa noticed like a little bit that looks like mold next to my recliner. So after about probably an hour and 14 swear words, I figured out how to get the couch out of the slide. So we pulled it all out, and all around the inside on the where the floor and the wall come, it was all mold everywhere. Yep. So which leads me to believe it's condensation. Every morning we wake up in the windows or so. What do you guys do for condensation in the RV?
Number 1 is a dehumidifier.
100%. Yes.
A dehumidifier. Number 2 is air circulation. If you're cooking, turn on your exhaust fan. Get that air moving around. But yeah, number 1, especially if you're in a moist climate, Florida when it's warm, the southeast coast when it's warm and hot and humid, definitely. Washington State, we always ran a dehumidifier until the average day temperature got down to like 45, because it would just get so humid. It wasn't really humid, but it was still a very moist air coming off the ocean and with lots of rain. So airflow and a dehumidifier.
Yeah, 100%. And if you see it there, look under your mattress. Yeah. I'd be willing to bet that you have it there.
We don't. I did look.
And the third thing you do is like come to Arizona.
Yeah.
Like
stay in dry climates.
Yeah, exactly. The humidity here is like 12.
I know we keep getting
negative 12.
Yeah, exactly.
We keep getting notifications from our humidity thing saying low humidity warning.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's better for your skin being in Arizona.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
Yep. We heard from the guys. What about the women? What kind of maintenance inside do you guys deal with?
When we move, I always do a good cleaning when we get to a new spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of people do it the moving day, but typically you're still moving, going down the road, and all sorts of dust and shit still comes in.
Great.
So
Which is, isn't that crazy?
It is. So usually on a move day, and I do it. I don't want to say I don't clean throughout when we're staying in a place, but like the good, like mopping the floors and sweeping and dusting and getting it all good and clean.
Preppy, yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'd say, because a lot of those things we probably do on a weekly basis anyway, but same thing, like, especially where we are now, we're in the middle of the desert. It's been windy, and we've had our windows open a lot up until the last couple of days when it's warmed up. But I've noticed the other day our screens are just full of dirt again. And it's just from the wind blowing everything in. So, yeah. And I agree with you. We used to clean before we left. And then we'd get somewhere. And by the time everything shakes from going down the road, there's more cleaning when you get there. So it was pointless.
How about you, Melissa?
I guess I would say having kids, they like to accumulate what I will say is a lot of crap. And I think
that's a technical term, right?
Yeah, technically speaking, it's a lot of crap. And, obviously weight is always an issue when you're traveling on the road. So it's mostly just going through at least once a month to be like, okay, we haven't used this in a while. Let's get rid of it. Or these clothes don't fit you. Let's try and donate them. And just always making sure that what we're bringing down the road is stuff that's a necessity and not just, like, oh, I'm going to use this in a couple of weeks or something that.
Yep.
I think what we've said before is if it's under $20 and you throw it out and you need it again or something. What is this 20? You told me the $20 rule, didn't you, Jim?
Yeah, I was like, if it's under $20 and you can get it within like 20 minutes and you use it like twice a year.
Right. Just get rid of it. Yeah. No. So.
Yeah, but your inside preventative maintenance is probably because the kids, like she said, we have Legos all the time, and that's a slide floor killer. So Melissa obsessively.
I obsessively vacuum.
She vacuums before we pull any slides in. She vacuums before we pull them out. Then she vacuums again after we pull them out because one Lego can cost you $5,000.
I think I probably vacuum at least twice a day, at least.
Yep. And you know what? Just like those Legos out west, at least, and we've probably encountered it in other places too. But those little tiny stones. Seem to be at most of these campgrounds. Yeah. One of those just sliding under a shoe or being stuck on the floor, same thing. A slide coming in and it's messing everything up.
Yep.
So take everything right out.
I'm with you. I'm always vacuuming and
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, one of the big things is before you leave, just do a quick look.
One of the things that I've always done, anytime operating a slide, setting camp up, whether the slide's going in or out, hooking up to the trailer, pulling out of a spot, or backing into a spot, I have always treated it as it's my first time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you're always so nervous that very first time with lots of things in life.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always treat it like it's the first time. And I probably do 3, 4, 5 laps around my rig before I move that son of a gun once I get hooked up. As an example.
It's scary.
I touch doors. I literally touch my doors. Okay, it's shut. That one's shut. I touch my hitch again, so treat it like it's your very first every time, and that'll mitigate. It won't mitigate all of it, but a huge percentage of the mistakes that people make can be avoided by just being, I don't want to be a scared, but be very aware.
Yeah.
Be very aware.
Be vigilant. Be vigilant. Be vigilant of what's going on your rig. Because I think all three of us have had slide issues. Right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, we have on our rig, we have cable slides. This slide right here that we're sitting in right now has snapped twice. Like every single time I put this in, it's like I got my fingers crossed. I'm outside. I'm kind of pushing it a little bit to help it along. Like it scares the crap out of me.
I know it.
Because when it goes, like it's not if it's gonna go, it's when. Because it's gonna happen. Yep. I mean, with any type of slide, it's just a matter of when. So.
But to your point, Jim, I agree. After Rob does his walk around, I do my walk around.
Yeah.
Because it's easy for someone to miss something. Yep. And even though we're both pretty detail oriented, it's.
I mean, and there's been times where I feel bad because I'll get in my zone and I'm doing my thing on a move day and I don't say, hey, see you later to some people that we have met recently. Yeah. It's like, Yeah, sorry you missed you. Sorry, I was in my zone.
Yeah,
And my priority is my home.
Exactly.
And doing it safely without breaking anything. I break enough stuff already.
And I'm sure everybody's experienced that, right? Where it's like you're either packing up to leave or you're just packing out to get there, and then somebody comes over and starts talking to you, and they totally jack up your space because it's like I've got my list to do. Like this is my to do procedure,
You're getting that
and then
groove.
somebody's sitting there talking to me. I'm like, listen, I don't want to be rude, but stop talking to me.
Yeah. Campground boundaries.
Yeah, exactly.
I do the same thing as Jim. I kind of do it obsessively. I do like you, Jim. I check it when I hook up, but then where I really piss people off is then I pull out of the RV park and I stop before I leave the RV park, and then I get out and I walk around and I check everything, make sure I'm hooked up right.
Yeah.
Melissa always gets good footage of me, but it's like just in my mind where I just have to look.
I do the exact same thing. Yep, 100%. You kind of have to though. Now we're to the point. Actually, we haven't had a "Where's Joan" moment in a while, have we?
Oh, where's Joan?
Where's
we have
Joan?
not.
Where's my
I'm
Joan?
kind of going off
true.
script a little bit.
Yeah.
Where's Joan?
So
Let's hear about Joan.
So for the listeners that don't know about Joan and where's my Joan, Joan is my mother, and she just turned 77. She's still very active. She's a kind heart, and
I want to meet Joan.
you need to meet
can't
Joan.
wait. I can't wait.
Everybody needs to meet Joan. 'Cause she really is. She's a sweetheart. Well, a year and a half ago, we took her to Palm Springs, and we were at this event, and we left the RV park together. We were just going to town, and I was like, "Mom, you got your phone?" "No, but it's okay." I'm like, "All right." So we go to this event, and she had an issue, and she's like, "I need a bathroom like yesterday." I'm like, okay. And she like disappeared in this crowd on me.
It was a farmer's market street fair that was like blocks and blocks long. So it wasn't just
It wasn't easy. So I have her on my Find My Friends on. We all have Apples, and
except Rob.
except Rob,
because I'm the best.
I was talking about my family.
I know you were, but I don't do that anymore.
So I wasn't able to use Find My Friend, and we decided that it was a good quote to say Find My Joan.
Find My Joan.
And she didn't have her phone, so we couldn't find her.
Right. So it was back at camp in her rig. So, but yeah, that's where Find My Joan came from.
Long story short, we did find her.
Did you find Joan though?
Find My Joan.
We circled the streets, and the two of us found Joan. So it was. At the end of the day, it ended up being okay. Was I a little perturbed? Yeah, but
You were
that's okay.
really perturbed.
But anyway, we found her. She's safe. She's doing okay. She has a friend right now that she's very close to, and he's had some medical issues. And they got some news today that wasn't the greatest, but it's not the worst. So it's so anybody out there that's a praying person, please pray for Ray. His name's Ray. So.
All right. So one of the things we like to do is we like to have oh boy moments. I call them oh shit moments, but oh boy moments are PC. So we'll go with oh boy moments. So oh boy moments are just the things that living on the road is a very different life than most people have. We all live on the road, and we don't have a house or a home or sticks and bricks.
Oh boy.
So I can't wait to hear some oh boy moments. So let's start with Danny and Melissa. What kind of oh boy moments you guys have?
Do we have one?
I think we have an oh boy moment.
What is it?
Jim, did we talk about when we pushed auto level and we had an oh boy?
Oh my god.
No, I don't think we heard that one yet.
So a couple weeks back, we pulled into an RV park. And
Tranquility Lake.
Tranquility Lakes in Florida. And like I said, we are new to the fifth wheel space. So we're still feeling out the auto leveling, and it freaks me out a little bit every time. I say a silent prayer before I push the buttons. And it could have been user error. I'm not sure. I'm like 93% it was not user error. But we get all set up and we disconnect the truck, and I push auto level. And then all of a sudden, the back...
No, the front.
The front comes down, and then the RV just keeps coming down. And it completely bottomed out. And I feel like I would be like steady in a crisis, and I had no idea what to do. I was like just looking at the panel, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And it wasn't. She's just running around. Luckily, the engineers know what they're doing, so it's not like the RV's gonna fall on the ground. But the RV came all the way down, and we're like, "Oh boy, what is going on?"
I don't think we did say, "Oh boy."
No, we did not say, "Oh boy."
I'm sure. That's why we should call this "oh shit" moment. It's okay.
No, I think it was even worse than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that was more.
That was the F-bomb, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's when we discovered that we have a few issues with our hydraulic auto leveling system in our RV, and we have not pushed said button
No,
since.
absolutely not. No.
I have it dialed in where I know every time we pull in, the left side's got to come up a little bit and the front goes down. So we just push it through a few buttons.
We
and
manually
bada bing.
auto level now.
That was an oh boy.
It was traumatic experience.
Yeah.
That's scary. That is scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. Yeah.
Very scary.
That's always been our concern because I'm like, so we have this issue where sometimes in the middle of the auto leveling, our thing will push an error out.
Yeah.
And the only way we can get it to get rid of it is to hook it up to the truck again and bring everything back up and then start the process all over. And that happened to us here when we got to where we are right now. We had to do that 4 times. And finally, Rob just we old schooled it. He pulled out some of the plastic levelers we used to have with our motorhome that didn't have the auto level. And we lifted up one side more than the other, and we finally got it to work. But we were nervous because we're like, is this thing gonna go all the way to the ground? Like, what would happen if it happened? So I guess it's okay. You're right.
Yep.
The engineer have it.
Well,
That'll work.
For your auto levels, that is one of the things that it's programmed to do.
Well, right.
Is it the nose will dip down?
Sure, right. It always does.
I've never experienced all the way down.
We haven't either.
Well, on a somewhat level area, there have been times where I've gone all the way down where I'm like on an incline where the road is closer to the tongue than it is to the rear. But as far as a level, I've never had that.
Because our thing was, we're like, well, do we have to hook it back up to the truck, or could we just try to get it to go down? Because you've got the front feet
to clear the error. You have to drop the whole front all the way down.
Yeah.
So,
and for whatever reason, it scares the shit out of me to do that, not hooked up to the truck.
Yeah, so we hook it up every time.
No.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Jim's gonna help us. Yeah.
Well, we experienced it for you, so you guys don't have to experience it.
There we go.
Do
All
that.
right.
Do not
Good.
recommend.
Yeah.
Do not try this at home.
Not a good experience.
No.
What about you guys? What's your oh shit moment? Or your oh boy moment?
We've had a few lately.
I'm going to tell you mine.
Okay. Please do.
I love this.
So before we came here, we'd been over near Yuma. And we did Mexico. We went over to Mexico three
In 4 days.
times in 4 days.
Okay.
We went over and had margaritas, Mexican food, whatever. So when we go to Los Algodones, people go over there and they get their dental work done because it's cheap, or their eyeglasses done because it's cheap, and all sorts of fun stuff. So I'm like, well, and you've gotten haircuts over there. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe. Okay, I like to get pedicures. That's one of my favorite things to do on the road. It's fun to kind of look for the best one and go and sit down. So I'm like, I'll do a pedicure in Mexico. They were $20. I'm like, save a bunch of money and get
Kapow.
a pedicure.
There's your first sign.
Well, I get done.
Was it $20 or 20 pesos?
$20.
$20.
I even
okay.
tipped her $5.
Okay.
Like, get
That's a lot
out.
of money for them.
And
Like
my
conversion line.
feet are all bleeding. She took a razor or something to get the dead skin away, and she sliced my feet all up. It was terrible. We had to go. Oh, thank goodness there's lots of pharmacies there. Because people go buy all their drugs there, prescription type drugs. So yeah, we had to go find some Band-Aids and Neosporin, and
we actually went to Cancun.
This wasn't with our RV.
Yeah, this was not with our. We've been parked here for a couple of weeks. Almost 2 months.
We've been out of town a lot, so we've been parked here, but we've been gone. Yeah.
So we haven't really had any good oh shit moments with the RV. But here's the oh shit moment. you're on a plane. Picture this. You're on a plane. And somebody says, the announcement comes over. Is there a doctor on the plane?
Yeah.
Wait, but let me just preface first. Before they get to that point, the person in front of you hits the thing and starts yelling for a flight attendant because their wife passed out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And
right in
he
front.
can't hear because he does not have his hearing aids in.
He took him out for the flight.
So he's screaming. And then all of a sudden over the intercom, is there a doctor anywhere on the plane here right now?
After 3 flight attendants come running and they're putting oxygen on her and they're like trying to hold her up and it was crazy.
This poor woman in front of us on the plane ended up had a seizure, and her husband kind of panicked, didn't know what to do, so he's hitting the call button.
Warranted.
So the flight attendant comes over and she sees what's going on, and all of a sudden, like, I have my headphones on, I'm watching a movie, so I see him doing this, and the woman comes over, and all of a sudden she sprints up to the front. So that's like immediate cue that shit, something bad's going on. Let me take my earbuds out, right? So then all of a sudden it's like she runs back with the whole oxygen mask, and then like 3 other attendants are there, and then a nurse comes up, and then a doctor comes up, and it's like 6 people. Planes aren't that big,
no,
but they're jammed in her seat.
Well, and in ours to reach around the back to her, and crap. It was scary. Yeah, Rob's like watching a movie, and I'm elbowing him.
What's going on?
And it was scary because then the other thing is they're literally running back because then the woman ended up being fine. Luckily, there were nurses and doctors on the flight. They're taking her vitals. They're not really sure what happened, but she was fine. But now they're coming and they're like, we need this paperwork filled out in 5 minutes. We need the answers. Otherwise, we are diverting the plane.
We're going to divert the plane.
Because the pilot doesn't want to land in Mexico with this happening. So we have to go back to the States to have this happen. And so we're like, and of course I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel horrible for this lady, but
we don't want to turn around.
So you're like, you feel really bad because you're like, okay, I don't want to think that way, but at the same time,
I want to get to Cancun.
Exactly. We had a couple of days here.
This was my one day that I could do whatever I want. So anyway, luckily everything was fine.
Yeah, she was fine, but
it was like 30 minutes of oh boy.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's like you always see that. Oh my, is there a doctor on board? This was totally that. And
there was a doctor.
There was a doctor. There was a doctor, and there was a nurse. So.
There was a nurse and a doctor.
They did right. I mean, she was okay, and everything was good. And
you got to Cancun.
Yeah, we got to Cancun. So it was fine.
And we actually got there.
RV repair issues. What kind of RV repair issues have you guys had? You guys have a brand new Brinkley. Have you guys had any issues?
With our Brinkley, we talked about the mold. We definitely have a mold issue. Yeah. We have paint chipping on both of our sinks.
Yeah.
Really?
So that's irritating. Yeah, on the kitchen sink, it's like the drain. It's like a black stainless steel. What do they call those? Deep well sinks, and just around the drain, it's chipping. Nothing major. The sink faucet. Yeah, the sink faucet in the bathroom is doing the same thing, and it's leaking a little bit. We've had to tweak a few things. The stairs.
Are they taking care of that, or what are you guys doing about it? I mean, it's just kind of it is what it is.
Well, luckily, I have some really good RV techs in my sphere that will be sending an invoice to Brinkley very soon for dead repairs.
There we go.
But honestly, nothing major at all in our Brinkley. We've been our other one, the Grand Design, was a rolling piece of junk, 2020 COVID model. And Brinkley stepped up the game. So just small stuff, and they have great customer service, so we're not worried about it.
But we did get a brand new dehumidifier.
We got the dehumidifier.
So,
good.
Good.
Yes. We have a brand new, and it's for a whole entire house. So I think we'll be just fine.
I know you only have that little baby.
A little tiny one. And we were in the Keys, and I don't know why we were so stupid about it.
Well, we have a big one in the West Wing, and then we have a small one in the East Wing now. So we've got...
I like this. Yes, I love it.
Yes, yeah.
We're covered.
I'm stealing that. That's some excellent tips for just general maintenance. And now, here's a cool thing. Jim and Amy have a humongous announcement. They've been just tongue-tied and just waiting to announce. And here it is. And Jim and Amy, the floor is yours.
Well, we kind of did a thing, and if any of the listeners subscribe to our YouTube channel, you kind of already know, but that's okay. We went to the Tampa RV show with our friends Danny and Melissa, and Danny and
That's
Melissa
us. We're Danny and Melissa.
Yeah, they are.
Those guys, For Simple Lives.
For Simple Lives. And so we ended up at the Brinkley booth, and there was a floor plan that we walked into, and I immediately felt like I was at home. It's the Brinkley G3250. It's the shortest toy hauler that they offer. An amazing rig. At that time, I was feeling like it really met our full-time RV living better than the solitude that we had.
For sure.
So that was on day 1 of the Tampa RV show. Day 2, we went back, and it's like, it got even worse for me. I don't know about Amy, but it got worse for me. And I actually sat on the couch and just watched people come and go for like, I don't know, I must have been in there for 20 minutes. Just sitting there and feeling like this is my house. And yeah, how you doing, Todd? How you doing, Troy? And Alicia? And I'm making names up, of course.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just, it felt right.
It felt home.
It did feel home.
Yeah.
We're retired, so we don't have, exponential amount of money to do anything with. But we met another individual at the LJMJFOS campout that we were at in Tampa for this the Tampa RV show, and we got hooked up with Bish's RV, and the numbers just they worked.
Yeah.
And everything said go. Just do it. So we took a crazy trip in the middle of winter, right after a snowstorm that actually pummeled the panhandle of Florida. From we were actually in Orlando. When we decided to do this, went from Orlando to Omaha, Nebraska in late January. Freezing temperatures all the way up.
How long was the trip?
We did it in 3 days.
We got up there in 3 days.
Okay.
It was what, 1,500 miles ish,
something like that. It was long.
So we got into Omaha on Sunday. We traded our solitude in on Monday. And if it wasn't for the team at Bish's in Omaha, we would probably still be there moving our stuff, because I had no idea how much stuff we had. Mind you, it's now the end of February, so it's been a month now. And on Tuesday, we basically beelined it to Quartzsite, Arizona.
Nice.
But yeah, it was one of those things that's like we had no intentions of, but at the end of the day,
it just hit right.
So much better.
That's awesome.
It is. It's way awesome.
Congratulations,
Danny and Melissa are bad influences.
Yeah, they are.
Did they get a commission? I mean,
I don't think they did.
No, I wish though.
I will say we got to have dinner there last night. It was beautiful.
It's a sweet rig.
Love it.
Yeah, it's
But
very nice.
We are loving it.
Makes us want our new rig even more.
Yep.
Yeah. Which we're working on. Yeah. I'm happy
Very
for you
nice.
guys.
Congratulations, guys. That's it.
Yes.
And I will say, it is a beautiful rig.
It wasn't planned.
It is nice. That's
Can't
awesome.
wait to see your guys' new rig.
I know.
I know.
We haven't seen you guys in a
That's
while.
right.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's awesome.
Very, very
Theirs is
cool.
awesome.
We got to figure out where we're all going to convene again.
Yes, definitely.
Vegas.
How long are you guys gonna be on the East Coast? Are you planning on coming west at all, or are you just gonna be there for a while?
Yeah, we'll be west, and right after June, we're coming west for the whole summer or winter, I guess.
Yeah.
Summer into winter.
Where west? Where?
We're going Texas straight to Tucson in California.
We are going back to Athens.
Yeah, we're going to Athens, Texas.
Oh yeah, so
Are you going to school, or are you just chilling?
Go hang out with the boys.
No, because we're gonna meet up with Todd and Stephanie and Tony and Melissa, and then Emma's best friend Sadie. Obviously, it was
Awesome.
Okay.
That's
way
cool.
cool.
That's
way cool.
Yeah.
I know your kids had the best time there.
Yes,
That's way
so
cool.
they're very excited to go back.
Are you going back to the barn? Like, is that where you guys are staying?
Yeah, well,
I don't know if you can.
Stephanie
stay
emailed us and said we can stay on their property,
yeah.
so we'd probably just stay right there at their house for a couple nights at
that's
least.
cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
That's really cool.
Well, we're definitely staying out west this summer. We were obviously after plans changed and not going on our Alaskan road trip.
So here was our RV issue. We have a leak in our shower, and it's typical. If almost anybody that has a shower in an RV, their shower leaks. So we just had to caulk it, and it was good.
Nice, good job.
There you go. You can use that.
Well, that kind of goes back. That kind of circles back to what we were talking about earlier about what we can do. You know? Just
Your maintenance.
talking. I mean, it's not just the exterior; it's also interior stuff, sinks and showers, and
Yep.
Just caulk it.
Water is so bad for an RV.
It's the devil.
It is. It's so bad. I mean, a little bit. And the crazy thing is, even like on roofs, a pinhole will cause so much damage. So, Amy's quote of the episode:
Don't get a pedicure in Mexico.
Hope you guys enjoyed this RV Trash Talk podcast. Please subscribe and join us as we navigate this crazy full-time RV lifestyle.